You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold fans. So Brooke Logan keeps on lying every day to Ridge Forrester, and it seems like it's probably going to catch up to her pretty soon. And when it does, she might get dumped and he might run right back to Taylor Hayes. Actually, he might run back to Taylor without even dumping her like he's done in the past. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to talk about Brooke's big lie and the fallout ahead and how Taylor might end up getting the guy again, at least for a minute. And hey, if you're new here and haven't subscribed, please click that button. Let's dive right into it. So the last time that Ridge felt really betrayed by Brooke, if you recall, was when she supposedly called Child Protective Services on his son, Thomas Forster. If you remember, Brooke actually did threaten Thomas and said she, might call CPS on him, but she didn't do it. Instead, he used that voice mimicking app and he faked the call so it sounded like Brooke. And without Ridge doing a lot of digging, he assumed Brooke did make the CPS call and then lied by omission because she didn't tell Ridge when he was kind of hinting around about it. And then, without bothering to break up with Brooke, he hopped a flight to Aspen and ran right into Taylor's arms. That was back when Krista Allen was still in the role. So the situation we're in now is a bit different because Brooke actually is being dishonest and she is telling lies of omission. And we saw what Ridge did when she wasn't, and he assumed she was, and this time she is doing it. And she's got to know it's going to come out eventually. And once Ridge knows that Brooke has been lying to him, it's not going to go well. And she knows full well that Taylor is waiting in the wings, ready to yab yum with Ridge again. If you haven't guessed by now, I'm talking about the big lie that Hope was in lingerie to get busy with Carter. So there was another bonus scene that came out this week that made it very clear to me that Ridge is probably going to take issue with Brooke when he finds out what she's been hiding from him. Once again, Hope is making trouble for her mother. Brooke has been covering for her for quite some time, starting with when Hope confessed her strong feelings for Finn and how she basically thought Steffi didn't deserve him, and she did, To her credit, Brooke was constantly trying to shut it down and telling Hope to stop. But then when she was talking to Ridge, Brooke was making light of it, trying to diffuse it with Hope, and also trying to keep it hidden. And that led to that drunken party foul when Hope kissed Finn. But that wasn't nearly as big a deal as what Brooke is hiding now, because Hope specifically pressed Brooke and said, don't tell Ridge or anybody else that she and Carter are hooking up. And Brooke knows this is going to look bad when it comes out. Hope knows it too, and that's why she told Carter on the recent episode, don't defend me at work by revealing our relationship. And the thing is, Ridge and Steffi really need to know what Carter is up to, because he's accusing Steffi of bringing her personal agenda to work while he's doing the same thing. But the bottom line is Brooke's withholding information from Ridge about Carter's judgment being potentially compromised. And I don't actually think Brooke has a good read on whether Carter is exercising good judgment or not, because she is, of course, heavily biased in favor of Hope because that's her daughter. But Ridge has a right to know that there is something personal that's possibly skewing Carter's business decisions right now. So as I told you guys the other day about that bonus scene, remember, with Steffi and Finn, where he asked how Hope could have known he was in the building, and Steffi said security probably told her. That was important, yet it didn't make it onto any of the aired CBS episodes. And I still see people asking in the comments here on Twitter, Facebook, and the forums groups why that Steffi and Finn think Hope would know. It's a huge talking point, so I don't know why B&B didn't put it into an episode that is aired. So anyway, another big thing is this new recent bonus scene, and it was Ridge and Brooke, and it had me really thinking about all of this important information that Ridge and Steffi and Eric all need to know. Brooke is deliberately keeping info from them, and I don't think any of them are going to be happy when they find out she's been lying by omission every single day. What's wild is while she's withholding this critical info, she expects Ridge to take her word that what Steffi saw with her own 20/20 vision wasn't accurate. Brooke saying to Ridge, believe what I'm saying to you with no proof and agree with me that my daughter is right and yours is wrong. And that's problematic. So here's what happened in the bonus scene, and then we're going to talk about what it means. So this scene was shot to be part of the Wednesday, November 13th episode where Brooke was talking to Ridge saying that Steffi's treatment of Hope was unfair. And Ridge said, you think I was unfair also? And Brooke kind of backed off that. That was in the regular episode. This next part was not. And then Ridge reminded her Hope kissed Finn at Eric's party, and Brooke tried to dismiss that, saying Hope was swept up in a moment, fun wording, and was very embarrassed about it. And then Brooke insisted again, Hope was not in lingerie for Finn. She said Steffi misread the situation and that Hope tripped and fell on Finn. And all that is true, okay? We know that. Ridge kind of laughed because it sounds ridiculous to him. And the reason it sounds unlikely to him is because he knows Hope had the hots for Finn, and, also because Brooke is holding back key info. And she then said that Hope couldn't know that Finn was even in the building. She said Steffi should have realized that. And then Brooke said to Ridge, I'm really disappointed and disturbed by you going along with this. So she's chewing him out for not taking her daughter's side while she is lying by omission right in his face again. And the bonus scene concluded with Ridge just kind of looking at her like he couldn't believe what was coming out of her mouth, and he just kind of mutters, okay. So if Brooke told Ridge, I know Hope wasn't waiting on Finn because she was waiting on Carter because they're hooking up, then, he would have to agree, oh, okay, Steffi did misread the situation with Hope and Finn. But Brooke doesn't want to tell the truth because then Ridge will know Steffi might have been wrong about that, but she was spot on with her read about Hope having gotten to Carter and his judgment being questionable. Jackie Wood says Steffi finds out soon about Hope and Carter, and she's going to blow them up to her dad and to Eric, and then Ridge is going to come around and confront Brooke, and she's going to have to admit she knew or tell another bigger lie, right? But how can she defend this huge lie of omission to Ridge? What can she say? Well, I didn't tell you because then you'd know why Carter was fighting to save Hope's line. While Brooke was busy taking swings at Steffi, she was covering for Hope, banging the company's COO, who was advocating for her line. I mean, either of those options is sketchy. And Ridge might walk right out the door, head over to Steffi's place, and invite Taylor to straddle him, because that's pretty much what Ridge does when he's upset with Brooke. She just told him this week that nothing would come between them. She said Taylor's condition wouldn't affect them. Nothing will. And I do agree that Ridge wouldn't walk right back over there to Taylor because of her heart condition. But Ridge absolutely would ditch Brooke because she lied to him. He's done it before when she didn't even really tell the lie of omission. And this time she is doing it, and about very important information. And I think it's going to come back around and bite Brooke hard. Taylor may get her man after all. However, I don't expect Ridge to stay with Taylor too long. He always waffles right back over to Brooke in the end.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.